what you pointed out, and I think this is real, and it's the real difference between men and women at our core, the women will be very jealous. And that, I think, is going to be a monster problem.
Horizon, you won't believe who it is and how it will upset the lead. DiJonai Carrington, the WNBA player known for her aggressive play and that eye-poke attempt on Caitlin Clark. She has been suspended, which is significant and will change everything. Let's take a moment to talk about Carrington, who was on fire, making waves, and seemed unstoppable, but now everything has fallen apart. The WNBA dropped the hammer steroids. Can you believe it? This isn't just a small matter. It's a big deal in women's basketball.
This is inexcusable, and DiJonai Carrington needs to be suspended for games.
Fans, players, and the league's integrity are all in disbelief. But what's even more bizarre is that this isn't the first time Carrington has been in trouble. Recall the incident involving Caitlin Clark. Oh yeah, we're just getting started. Before we continue, I would want to ask you a tiny favor. You won't believe what else she has done. Please take a moment to like this video if you enjoy this content. Additionally, over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing, which doesn't cost you anything but has a significant impact on us. Did you click the subscribe button? If so, thank you very much. Let's get back to the video. Carrington is in court. Remember the eye-poke incident with Caitlin Clark? It turns out that it wasn't an isolated incident. How far does her aggressive play actually go? Her behavior has been raising suspicions long before the steroid scandal occurred. Let's discuss Carrington's on-court style. She is renowned for her aggressive style in addition to her scoring prowess.
Caitlin Clark's trying to pass the ball in the first 2 minutes of the game, and this woman swats at the basketball and somehow decides to turn her hand down and her fingernails and jab them right into the eye.
Discussing a player who averages 3.5 fouls every game, which is significantly more than the league average of 2.1. It seems as like she is participating in a different sport, but this is where things start to get crazy, and people are using terminology like roid rage. Yes, you heard correctly. It's a serious accusation, and the response from fans and other players isn't pretty. People are furious on all sides, saying that Carrington isn't just hurting her own reputation, she's making fun of the entire sport. Some fans are wondering if her use of steroids may be contributing to her excessive on-court aggression. She's not only a shame to the league, she's a warning sign. This isn't just about one player anymore, it's about the integrity of the entire WNBA, according to one comment that truly stood out. A huge fall from favor is occurring quickly as Carrington moved from being regarded as a budding star to being called a filthy player.
One of the things that I brought up this morning in talking about Caitlin Clark is that some of the players, you want to use the word jealousy.
One fan put it bluntly, if you need to cheat just to play your dirty little game, then you've got zero business being in this league. It's amazing how quickly things can change in sports. 1 minute you're the next big thing, and the next you're at the center of a scandal that's rocking the entire league. This is the idea that perhaps all of this aggressive behavior is actually a cover for something else. This is where things get really intriguing because Carrington's narrative is becoming a warning about the risks of pushing yourself too hard on and off the court. Carrington's aggressive play is well known, but have you ever noticed how erratic her performance is? Could there be a pharmacological explanation for these erratic swings? One game she's on fire, the next she's freezing. When we examine Carrington's performance, we can see that she averages 12.1 points and 5.3 rebounds per game, but those figures don't fully capture her play. There is a pattern to the scoring which fluctuates like a yo-yo. One night, she scores 20 points, and the next, she barely makes it with 5. Why would a player's performance vary so much from game to game? Sure, everyone has their ups and downs, but this is extreme. It's like watching two different players wear the same jersey. Could steroids be the cause of this Jekyll and Hyde act on the court? Well, one fan was spot on when they said, now we know why she was so eager to be physical on the court. All that aggression wasn't just her trying to make a name for herself. It was probably the roid rage talk. Ouch. That's a serious accusation, but it makes you wonder, doesn't it? But it's not just about Carrington anymore. This whole situation is affecting her teammates, the league, and the fans who looked up to her. Imagine being her teammate and never knowing which version of Carrington will show up on game day, or being a fan who purchased her jersey believing she was the real deal. Now, they're left wondering how much of her talent was actually just drugs. Everyone is being forced by this scandal to critically examine Carrington's prior performances. How much of what we witnessed was authentic, and how much was manipulated? One pundit put it perfectly. This whole situation is making people question everything they thought they knew about talent in sports. It's like discovering your favorite movie was entirely computer-generated imagery. It just doesn't seem the same anymore. Carrington's previous results have been reevaluated in light of the steroid scandal, with concerns expressed over the extent to which her perceived talent was artificially augmented. Everyone in the sports industry should take note, but this is only the first step. How will this scandal change the WNBA, and what does Carrington's future hold? This bombshell's aftermath may be even more startling than the revelation itself. The WNBA's future is in jeopardy because of Carrington's suspension, which is more than just a slap on the wrist. Her teammates are left to pick up the pieces after her reputation was destroyed. Imagine being in their position and not knowing if your star player was using drugs or talent. This whole situation is making the WNBA take a close look at itself because the league's integrity is at stake. Players are demanding answers, and fans are questioning everything. You know what's really getting folks talking about the idea of more stringent testing? It's like the entire foundation of women's basketball is trembling. They have a point. If one star player could get away with it for so long, who else might be cheating the system? It's a scary thought, right? The WNBA may need to crack down hard to regain trust. We're talking about more frequent tests. Some are saying that this could be the wake-up call the league needed. To put it bluntly, this steroid scandal is just the cherry on top of a long list of trashy behavior. Stiffer punishments for repeat offenders, perhaps even lifetime bans. This has the potential to permanently alter the game. But this is where things start to get interesting. It's possible that this scandal will be the WNBA's turning point because it's making everyone debate about sports integrity and how winning isn't just about winning anymore. Is it about doing it the right way, or are you taking shortcuts? Carrington's legacy is ruined. Rather than being regarded as a rising star, she is now the face of cheating in women's basketball. One comment was perfect. Now that she's been discovered, the audience is jeering her off the stage rather than applauding her great plays. How about that for karma? Despite being a cruel fall from grace, it conveys a strong message. What have we learned from this Carrington mess? This whole situation is about the WNBA's future, not just one player or one team. Will they take this as an opportunity to make amends and establish a new standard, or will they try to brush it under the rug and hope that no one notices? How they handle this could make or break the league's reputation. Steroid use by a single player is not the only issue. The WNBA and sports in general ought to take note of this whole situation. Although it may appear like a quick route to success, cheating usually ends horribly. It's insane how quickly Carrington went from being a rising star to being suspended. The truth is that fall from grace is affecting not only her career but also the league's reputation as a whole. Champions are created with talent, hard work, and ethics rather than using drugs. Carrington's story demonstrates the importance of having fair and exemplary athletes as role models in sports. What do you think about all of this? Do you support clean competition and more stringent testing in sports? Keep in mind that true achievement comes from hard work, not shortcuts.